How's it going, everybody? Ragiroth here. So another new type of video I wanted to do was kind of an opinion, or I guess a personal kind of video, letting you guys know my thoughts or views on something, or in this case, things that I like. Generally, I've made top 10 lists on things that I want, but I rarely have made lists on what I'm already happy that I have. While I usually want to do more lists that you don't see as much, I figured I'd at least start off with something more simple and mention more on my channel, this case being Mortal Kombat. This list will overlap a bit with some of my previous MK11 top 10 lists from a couple years back. Jeez, has it been that long already? I'm mostly judging these characters off of design and abilities, how much I like playing as them. Story and nostalgia with me as well, so you probably won't see too many of the newer characters, but don't think I don't like all of them. So top 10 picks and seven honorable mentions. This list was very hard to narrow down. Here we go. Number 10.
Serena.
I really want to put this character high on this list. Serena probably has my favorite design of any female MK character. A really cool concept and a neat story. It really helps that she is associated with Sub-Zero, Quan Chi, Shinnok, Noob Saibot. We don't really have any female representation from the NetherRealm. She debuted in Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero Mythologies, and has only been playable in a Game Boy Advance port of Deadly Alliance, Tournament Edition, and as well as Mortal Kombat Armageddon. And that's kind of the problem. This isn't really her fault, but she's had a very uninteresting moveset. Or movesets, I should say. Though I do like that rapid kick move she had in Armageddon. She has so much potential and could have a demon form, use her sickles from mythologies, but NetherRealm Studios would rather treat her as a joke on the same level as Mocap than give her another shot.
Foolishness. NRF. Foolishness.
Number 9.
Tremor.
Another character I kinda would like to put a bit higher. Now, I've never played Mortal Kombat Special Forces, and I don't know if I ever want to. Heard it was awful, and I'm already so tired of the Special Forces down your throat. However, when I heard that there was a ninja in that game, that hadn't been in a game before, that had earth powers, an unused power in MK, I was dying to have him be playable. I wanted Tremor for a while, and then MKX came around, and honestly, he was my favorite part of that roster. He was a saving grace for it, actually. I love his design, his voice, and personality. And NetherRealm Studios went actually above and beyond with his moves, where each variation was kind of a different type of earth power. The only reason he isn't higher on this list is just because I feel like I need to be able to play as him in one more game for him to solidify, get it, a higher spot in my heart. Also, while I was impressed with how they utilized his powers, I was disappointed that he was a character whose moves were very similar between the variations. A problem that would unfortunately probably be fixed if he was in this game. But Scarlett got a second chance, so hopefully my favorite poopy ninja does as well. Someday. Number 8.
Ermac.
This is definitely a character I've struggled with placement on the list, but I think this makes the most sense. For some reason when I first saw Ermac, I didn't really like him. I guess I didn't understand him, but ever since Deception, I've fallen in love with him. Sick concept, design, and moveset. And that almost increases with every game he was in. My favorite playable design is probably his alternate in Mortal Kombat 9. It's super sleek and badass looking. My favorite design overall for him is maybe his MK11 design. It kind of makes me want him in this game, but I also do still want to give characters I like that haven't had a shot in a while. I was fine with his MKX default, but I feel like it was a less cool and more gross version of his superior Mortal Kombat 9 alternate. I think kind of showing his face and his face being all kind of gross and mummy-like wasn't really helping, but I see what they were doing there though. I kind of would like them to make him a good guy again, like back they did in Deception and Armageddon, teaming up with Kenshi, mainly so maybe he can be playable in the story modes, but whatever, I guess. At least I get to see him. Number 7.
Havoc.
Come on, you guys know there was going to be at least one 3D era character on this list with how much I talk about some of the characters from it. Hell, like Serena and Tremor, Havoc would honestly be higher if he got to be in more games and give it another shot. But 3D era fans aren't allowed to have nice things, you know that. But Havoc is great and really sums up Mortal Kombat nicely. He's both a wacky, but just badass and sick character. I love his concept in embracing chaos, and he actually had a really great role in the MKX comic, even though it did kind of go against his previous neutral, nihilistic type of role before. I actually even like his order counterpart, Hitaru. But honestly, can we just have this guy be playable and not just in someone's ending for once again? Number 6.
Scarlett.
Tremor could probably surpass Scarlett for me if it wasn't for the fact that Scarlett actually got a second chance and was mostly improved from that previous outing. But wow, I was in love with Scarlett when she first appeared in MK9, and MK11 pushed that to even greater heights. I love that she's based off an old rumor like Ermac, and I love that she's a being made of blood instead of souls like Ermac. That was the one retcon I wasn't in love with in MK11, but what are you gonna do? I wasn't super impressed with her default design in MK11. I didn't hate it, it just wasn't quite as cool to me. The majority of the other costumes are absolutely fantastic. And while I loved her traditional ninja style from MK9, the evolution of her blood magic in MK11 was amazing. And I love when characters can form weapons. Especially Scythe? Mwah! Though I kind of missed that teleport backstab from MK9. Her voice and mannerisms are also both cool, creepy, and kind of adorable all at the same time. Frankly, I will give a damn if Scarlett doesn't stick around. Number 5.
Frost.
Honestly, I could kind of see Havoc taking Frost's space if he got more of a shot, but we don't live in that timeline. Now it's funny, we're talking about timelines in MK11. Even so, Frost has a special place in my heart. She might have actually been the first female fighter I really want to play as a lot in the fighting game. Funnily enough, Nataro would be the second who debuted in that same game. There was just something really appealing to me about her, more so than Sub-Zero. I guess it was the hair? I really like her savage and more nimble nature than her mentor as well, but like a lot of the other 3D era characters, she had untapped potential. Though, a good chunk of that potential did thankfully get to be realized where she made her playable return to MK11 after like a decade, which was my favorite part of the base roster. Now, to this day, I think there's a big divide on how people feel about her being brought back as a cyborg. Some love it, some hate it. I'm kind of in the middle. She still has her glorious hair, and she now actually has a completely unique and awesome moveset compared to Sub-Zero. You could make an argument that she's now a Cyber Sub-Zero clone, but there's enough differences to me. I guess I could see how she maybe took the concept though. But I guess I like Cyber Sub-Zero, and at least this version of Frost actually shows her face too. So it's whatever. I think the worst part about it for me was that some of the more silly moves, she has like those dumb head moves, kind of restricted them to not let us be able to use the human Frost skin. They probably did that on purpose, to be real. Just would be nice to have both. And also, even though I think it's really on brand for Frost to become a cyborg to just gain power because that's all she really cares about, it just sucks that they can just never let her become a good guy, or at least like an anti-hero. I really think it would be sick if she had joined the Combat Kids. Would have made them way better in my opinion. Her butting heads with Cassie and all, come on, that'd be great. It's really annoying they refuse to let some of my favorite bad guys ever change sides. Granted, most of the characters I love are villains. It would just be nice if someone got to be good for once and got to get more of a focus, I guess. I hope MK11 wasn't Frost's final game, but if it was, at least she got a chance in one of the newer entries. And that's really all what I mainly have been asking for from NRS. Number 4.
Fujin.
Big shock, right? Most people that know me as a YouTuber or in person know how much I don't shut up about this guy. A lot of you are probably surprised he isn't number 1. Well, while I do absolutely love the Wind Boy, but I mainly just want him so much because he is the character that needs another shot more than anybody, especially with how much he is teased as well as the potential he has. He just deserves it and needs it. But I don't know what else that hasn't really been said already about him. He looks awesome, I'm sorry, but I just think he looks so much cooler than non-Dark Raiden, and I've always just enjoyed playing as him. I don't know why. Wind isn't even my favorite element or anything, but it's just something I want to see fully utilized in Mortal Kombat. Unlike poor Serena and Havoc, though, The return of Fujin may actually be more likely due to what's been known in the Mortal Kombat 11 game files for a while now. And as Goku once said, guys, if there was ever a time, this is it. Number 3.
Smoke.
Smoke is sort of like Ermac for me, but on a higher level. I always thought he was fine, but then Deception made me like him more. Though unlike Ermac, I do think his moveset needed work, but that's partially because he wasn't a full character, not quite the same thing. Then MK9 came in, woo! Holy shit. Smoke's default design in MK9 is probably my favorite design of any MK character ever. Probably because it kind of reminds me of Raiden from the Metal Gear series. But MK9, I feel like he got to be a full character with a personality, emotions, and a unique friggin' moveset that was awesome at that. He still could have had a bit more, but it was fine for me. Then he had the potential as an Enra in MKX, and, well, nothing. I mean, we kinda got him. And that variation of Triborg was awesome, but I will always prefer Human Smoke. And overall Sector is still my favorite cyborg. I did love how they reworked his harpoon form, though. In MK11, he's human and technically usable as a variation counter move for Shang Tsung. Gee, thanks. This is just what I wanted. Yet another awesome character that gets to be underutilized because reasons. And it also doesn't help that the element of smoke is so uncommonly used in fiction and video games, even less so than when. And he had surprisingly neat fatalities in MK9. Maybe one day Smoke will be back again. Number 2.
Rain.
It sucks being a Smoke fan. It really sucks being a Rain fan. I think Rain first got a special place in my heart for Mortal Kombat Trilogy since he was the first character I ever beat Shao Kahn with. But I love the purple, but I love the color purple, and I just really like his moveset. And he had an air of mystery to me, I guess, as well. Water powers are also really awesome when used right, too. I was thrilled to see him come back in Armageddon. He was one of my mains. I was kind of half and half on his design, but it was really cool, and it was still cool, and it really made him stand out from the other ninjas. It was also really cool they made him a demigod and connected to the protagonist of the game, Taven, and the kind of antagonist, his brother Dagon, of the story mode, him being their half brother. And then MK9 came along, and just like with Smoke, elevated Rain really high for me. His design and moveset was top notch, being fun, cool looking, while staying true to his original fighting style. Being a Rain fan sucks though, because we are constantly being teased with no payoff. Granted, NetherRealm Studios is kind of bad with this in general, but especially with Rain. He was an NPC with a unique design in MKX that actually had more screen time than some of the playable characters like Kano. Then the debacle with Rain and the Conqueror menu in MK11 was just... ugh. I know it's because NetherRealm Studios sees Rain as a joke because of the Prince reference, but do they not realize that they just had a character that vomits and farts as a DLC character in MKX? Do they not realize one of the main characters of the game cracks jokes, acts like a mime, and takes pictures during battle, as well as another character that urinates before battle? Do they not realize there have been other serious characters in fiction with wacky musical references? And they refuse to have him as DLC because they don't want to repeat DLC. That's totally fine. But he was DLC
9 years ago.
Is there not a statute of limitations with that? Their stubbornness with this character is downright sickening. It makes me want to boil water. I keep wanting to say that maybe Rain will come back next game, but every time I think that, I just get disappointed. I wish I hated this guy, but unfortunately I don't. Alright, so now I'm going to go through some of my honorable mentions. And they are Reptile, Mataro, Melina, Sector, Reiko, Aaron Black, and Jade. Number 1. Spawn. Wait, he's not a Mortal Kombat character? That's stupid, he should be. Well, anyways, my real number 1 choice is...
Noob Saibot.
I'll be honest, part of my love for this guy came from just being able to spam that Shadow Slam over and over, but then it grew later on to appreciate a really cool character, and he's probably my first ever fighting game main. If it's not clear already, I'm a sucker for the color black and all other cliche edgelord, as the kids these days call it, things. Noob Saibot is the epitome of that. I liked his name as well. This was before the term noob came around, and his story was neat and mysterious as well. The twist with him being the original Sub-Zero really helped as well. Just like Rain and Smoke, he's really only gotten better. I probably watched his Mortal Kombat 9 trailer a bunch back then, as well as his MK11 trailer. The more Grim Reaper-y he got, the more I was on board. If there was any roster with Noob Saibot on it, I can't really hate that roster. Even if I was okay with him sitting at MKX, it would have still helped that roster for me. And even if he isn't always my most wanted character, unlike a few other characters, I actually get a healthy dose of Noob. He's always going to be my main, or at least one of them, as long as Mortal Kombat games exist. So that's about it. Sorry if it was kind of long and ranty at points. I might make a list of my top 5 favorite guests in NetherRealm games if you guys want to see it. I'm probably going to wait till maybe after Combat Pack 2. Just because, Ash could be on that list for all we know, and we don't know what other guests we're going to get. Let me know who your favorite characters are in the comments below, and if you agree or disagree with this list at all. Thanks for checking out this video, and as I always say, another time, another place, keep being awesome.